From the bowels of One Half Radio Plaza at Life Media Studios.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Real Country Radio.
Congratulations, Detroit. You can be thoroughly ashamed of yourself. The homicide toll has reached a nice even 750. Details on the latest leveling from Police Sergeant.
Coming up now, we're going to start off the set with...
In the morning.
Bucketless Tigers could use this guy's talent.
Have you had time to get ready?
I don't waste any time getting ready. I stay ready.
Good evening and welcome back to Sidetracked. I'm joined by Ryan this evening. Cody will be along shortly. He's tending to storm damage at his folks' property from the tornadoes the other night. And I don't believe Adam is going to join us tonight. He's got some family matters he's attending to. But we're here. The season has started, and it only gets crazier from here, doesn't it?
That's for sure. Don't you wish that, that was Chris Economaki, right?
Yes.
Don't you wish you never had to get ready and you just stayed ready?
I try my hardest to live up to that, but I find myself getting ready to head into a weekend of racing, and no, I am not ready.
Where are you racing?
I am going to Onaway. It's the Canadian-style semi-madness.
Very nice.
Yeah. I like everything about it except for the weather forecast, but we race in the rain, so we will not be deterred.
Aha. Yeah, lucky you guys.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been up there and not had it do a little bit, at least one of the days. Is what it is. Just change up your order a little bit. You don't run the really fast stuff bobtail because that's too dangerous, but everything else, let her rip.
So how many classes will they run then? Do they stop it at like Class A or Class B? Or
we will not do any A bobtail, but we'll do just about everything else.
Okay. Because A is big enough full boogie, right?
A is the full boogie stuff, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's four classes, A, B, C, and C mechanical.
Okay. So how does the entry list look?
You know what? I had a early copy of it, and it was decent, but I know there have been additions to it since, and I haven't gone back in to look. There'll probably be 70 to 80 trucks racing throughout the weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's all, you're guaranteed to see everybody at least twice because that's double elimination. You're not out until you lose twice. So.
Oh, I see. Do they ever do any like call outs and stuff like that too, or no? Or is it all just kind of bracket and ladder?
Bracket and ladder. I mean, you'll have downtime, especially with the trailer part of the racing where I think we usually have 6 sets. So sometimes there's some downtime as guys are getting switched over onto the next pair of trailers. So yeah, you'll get some grudge call outs here and there.
Any good races out of it? Any big money?
Not that I've ever been told, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
Gotcha.
So
well, we and then the week after, so you do semis this week, and then it's flat bills and vape pens and and Carolina squats, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. God, I miss that show. I want to go back there so bad.
It's going to be interesting this year at Ultimate Call Challenge with no tower at the drag strip. I'd be operating from a trailer at ground level, which
is that right?
Well, it's great for my legs and my feet.
I suppose
it makes it a little bit hard to see.
Yeah. Maybe they'll let you climb up on the dyno. Ha! Just put you in a fire suit and
I'm tempted to take it just for the novelty of walking up there wearing it, and then see if Cody lets me stay there.
Right. Well, just put it on, grab the gloves, the whole nine, and just walk up. Just casually, just doing your thing, and then walk up to as somebody's pulling up and strapping down, and just here, Cody, hold this. And then just start punching buttons on the laptop. See what he does.
Yeah, show me the button that says go.
Right. Although I suppose it'd be probably a little bit more fun to be sitting in the truck looking for the button that says go.
The scramble button.
Or in Brett Markham's case, the button that says party.
Yeah, party mode.
I think he still has that button on there, but I think
I believe so.
The first time he was there, I remember catching a shot of it. Big red button, party. I dig it. All right, let's go.
That's better than the big red button that's in Dirty Hooker's truck on the steering wheel. That one says, "Oh shit," that throws the chutes.
Ah, nice. Nice. All right, well, I got to admit, I do love seeing stuff like that. You know, just the little bits and pieces of driver's character, builder's character.
Yeah.
Way into the truck. You know, I mean, seeing a clinically built, you know, just big nuts, let's go, is great, but it's cool when it's got a little bit of personality.
Yeah, yeah. It's still on the dashboard of Mark Rogi's truck from when Rod McMaster owned his race truck. It's a piece of tape on the dash. It just says, "Don't suck."
Right. I think I've seen a picture of that.
Yeah.
So, well, what do you say? We got two guys sitting in front of a big truck, speaking of UCC.
Yeah, looks like they're ready.
And they were going to come on with us right when we started, but then, well, promoters do what promoters do. And when somebody calls because they want to be a sponsor, you take the call. So, and Brad did just text me. They did get the sponsorship. So,
attaboy, guys. Attaboy.
Yeah, well done. Well done. I wonder if they know they're on camera yet.
I don't know.
Nope, haven't figured that out.
Nope, haven't been paying a bit of attention, have you? No.
Where we at? Oh, right now. Look at that thing.
Wow, look at that. That thing's got deep dish wheels, like
I think I could lay inside.
What are those, 12 inches deep?
16. 16.
Holy crap.
Brad's going to take a nap in there later.
Yeah.
Good. That'll be worth a photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so who the heck are you guys? And why are you here?
Well, my name is Brad Stoll. I'm president of Northwest Missouri Track and Field Association. This is Dakota Beemer. He's a promoter for me. He's promoting this new pool. You want to talk to him about it?
Yeah, so our show's Northwest Showdown. We have it in Graham. Well, technically a Barnard address. It's the second year I've taken it over. Last year was kind of a short, quick, like, hey, you want to take this over? And I had a quick 60-ish days to figure out how to put my first show on. So we went for it. We'll put it that way.
Well, let's dig into that before we go into get into the event that's coming up. How in the heck does somebody get drafted into service or to take over a poll with 2 months to go?
So my the promoter that used to put that pool on, he wanted to back down. But the facility at Graham, it's a beautiful facility, huge parking area, and the tracks, I mean, it's second to none, really. I mean, it will drag you down and make you wish you had 200 or 300 extra oars that really you don't have.
All right.
And so I called Dakota. I know Dakota's been wanting to big.
Oh, cool. So
I didn't do that. I don't know what happened.
Dakota apparently forgot to pay his cell phone bill. Sweet. I can't understand the words coming out of your mouth. Brad's going to start talking with hand signals here in a minute.
Yeah. No.
Or something. Or they've gotten camera shy.
I think their camera just doesn't like us because it didn't like us even before we went live.
Right.
Or didn't like you anyway, which was weird.
No, I mean, that happens. That happens. There's lots of people who don't like me. Probably from every state in the union, I mean, Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky, Iowa. I mean, take your pick.
I'm fine with it. I don't discriminate either.
Hey, that happens. You know what? While we're waiting for those guys to pay Dakota's cell phone bill, I'm gonna send a picture to the box and pop that on the screen, would you?
Yes, sir.
You know what it is.
I do know what it is, and I like it very much.
I do too. I do too.
Entire screen. Here we go. There it is.
That is probably one of the coolest models that I have ever seen come out of Justin Stuckenschneider's shop.
Agreed.
And I've seen quite a few of them. That one's probably the coolest. I'm sure it's the most detailed. I'm sure it's probably one of the ones that he has the most hours into. And you know what? For $100, you got a chance to win it.
Mm-hmm.
$100. He is doing I don't know if it's a raffle or a waffle or a giveaway or whatever the heck it is, but it's all for the high limits pull, which happens in a couple of weeks in Paris, Missouri. It'll be a big show. I'm going to try and get down there for it because I haven't been down there in, 3-4 years. And it raises money for
Did you hear that?
what is it? The Mizzou. It's the Mizzou Children's Hospital.
Yes.
What's the not Make-A-Wish? Crap. Justin, get in the comments. Tell me what I'm supposed to say here. Because I forgot. I can't remember what organization that they're raising money for. It's not St. Jude's, but it's an organization like St. Jude's.
Yeah.
And so I think that there were 100 spots on the board at 100
spots on the board. He made 2 sleds. He's keeping one for himself. But Bad Medicine, there is one, and you get to take it home if you win.
And that's it.
That's it. Will not be another.
Right. Well, he might make one for himself, but
I don't know. He said no. He said no when I talked to him about it, but he can always change his mind.
Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, so they're raising money for, just like they always have, for the Children's Miracle Network.
There he is. Thank you, sir.
And it's basically, as I understand it, they use the bulk of that money goes towards buying the blankets and the beds for the NICU, for the infant ICU.
Yeah.
And it'll probably always be that way because one of our dear friends who's helped out with that pull since day one, his little boy is the only reason his little boy is alive is because of one of those beds that opened up, and a blanket to keep him warm. And they, he's happy, healthy, strapping kid. Heck, he's actually working at a Case IH dealership now, answering phones. The kid's like 11. Maybe 11. But I know that there's been quite a bit of interest, but I don't know how many spots are left. But if you want one, go to the high limits page. And let me dig up the full name of the page. High Limit Productions Foundation.
I'll find it and I'll put the link in the comments.
Yeah, throw the link in the comments, and then just message their inbox and tell them you want a ticket, and then they will connect with you, and they will find a way to take your money digitally, or probably by check, or if you want to put cash in a carrier pigeon's mouth and send it down to Paris, Missouri. I imagine you could do that too. But all the money goes to Children's Miracle Network and the Mizzou Children's Hospital. That's a really good cause. Those are some really good people, and Justin's awesome. Oh,
yeah, we kind of.
Oh, it's not 100 tickets.
Oh,
they've opened it up.
Okay, cool.
Justin tells us that they will sell as many tickets as they possibly can by May 31st, which is what, next Thursday? Yeah. Next Friday.
Ish. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, next Friday. So message that inbox. It's $100. The money goes to a good cause. And if you win, you're the coolest cat in the world because you got something that ain't nobody else going to have. And if you've never seen one of Justin's models, oh my Lord.
Does good work.
He does very, very good work. I would say he's the best in the business, bar none.
Yep, I would agree.
And now you should mute him because he's probably going to say, "Well, I can hear him doing it right now." So
you guys are too nice.
Yeah,
no,
you're too nice.
We do like you. I mean,
we do a whole lot. So, Justin, throw in the comments though. Tell us how many tickets you sold, and then we'll get back to Dakota and Brad, who are still futzing with a phone.
Oh, we're ready.
Shut up! You were watching Snapchat and TikTok videos.
You're right. I'm actually looking at Scott Barkas's Snapchat right now. He's up in Greenfield helping. So, yeah,
he's been up there. He's been up there ever since these tornadoes lifted, hasn't he?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. He's his Snapchat is something else right now.
It is.
It is terrible. It's horrifying. For those of you who don't know who Scotty Barkas is, he's a 2.6 truck puller. He and his daughter both pull 2.6 trucks, and he's also a sprayer tech for Agrivision, one of the local John Deere dealers here in the region, which makes him one of your coworkers, correct?
He used
Brad?
to be. He is. I'm
to
gonna brag. I'm gonna brag on Scott Barkas. I still call Scott every once in a while, if I need questions. But the dude's forgotten more about sprayers and spreaders than I'd say 99% of people will ever know. So he's a good dude, just all around. I mean, except on the track, he's going to lose this weekend. But other than that, he's a good dude.
That's true. And we'll get to that in a minute because there's actually something. If you know Brad, Brad doesn't pull trucks, and Scotty doesn't pull tractors.
Nope. We've both tried it though.
Yeah, they both tried it and they both decided, no, this isn't for us. We want to. Yep. Scotty wants to be a door slammer, and Brad is a cage crawler for life, I think.
Yep.
But did you pop John Mears' comment?
I did. Let me go back to that.
Hi, John. I know I owe you a text. I haven't forgotten it. Just life kind of got busy there for a little bit. I'm going to fall on my sword here, and I'm going to say I don't know squat diddle about this deal. Do you?
Very little. I knew that there was a challenge thrown down, but I guess the particulars and details I'm a little fuzzy on myself. So feel free to update us, Mr. Mears.
Yeah, either that or I'm going to text you a link and I'm going to have you come and join us.
Yeah, just come in and tell us yourself. That's the easy way, right?
Yeah, if you're good to go, if you want to hop on for a minute and talk about it, I'm sure these gentlemen would be happy to give you the floor for a second.
Sure.
You're going to get to know Dakota in a few years anyway, so it'll be a good opportunity to meet you. You see what I did there, Brad?
I see that plug. I seen that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So while we wait for if John's going to hop on, he'll text one of us. But go back to Dakota. Go back to my original question. How in the hell do you get roped into 8 weeks out to? Hey, you're going to promote a tractor pull. You ever done that before? Nope. You ever pulled a tractor before? Nope.
He was the only one who said yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
And I suppose that could be true, but
it really did. I mean, I made one call to him, and I made one call to Dakota. Dakota and I have been friends since college, I guess. His business is growing, and a lot of people know him in this area. He's a good dude, and he's been wanting to. We tried going with doing trucks, right? You guys doing rallies at some pools is what you kind of wanted to start doing, right?
Cruise night or something and end up at
Yep.
a pool.
Yep. And I called him about 3 weeks after we talked about it. I said, "How about you just put a poll on yourself?" And I think it all just snowballed from there. So
I don't know what this comment means, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Brad probably can't see it now.
nobody ever tells Brad no. Oh,
yeah,
God.
it's
funny. That lady right there that just commented, that's Andrea Ellis, and she's put she had brought a pull back to Albany, Missouri last year. Super, super good lady. We really enjoyed working with her. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to have their pool this year at Albany. Hopefully she gets something figured out for next year. She's actually the one we talked to on sponsor. She runs a little boutique, I believe is what it is, in Albany, Missouri, making crafts / selling a lot of clothing and stuff like that. So you should hit Andrea Ellis up on Facebook. She actually is the one that just put $500 up. She wanted to add it to the 2.6 diesel pickup winner and put the other 250 up to the 8,500 limited pro winner. So that's our sponsor right there that you're looking at.
That's awesome. Good on you.
It's pretty cool whenever one promoter promotes another promoter. That's really cool for us to see her step up, knowing she couldn't have her pull this year and throwing her extra money towards Dakota.
Nice.
Hopefully here in
Good work.
next year or so we'll see her back at it.
Yes, that'd be great.
That'd be a great pull.
Andrea, maybe throw your socials, your Facebook page, or your web address, or whatever in the comments. We'll pop it on the screen for you. And thank you for supporting this show. So, you're the only one who raised your hand, huh?
Kind of to a point. Yeah.
All right. Well, you kind of. I mean, you got right after it. I mean, what was the state of the poll at the time? And I mean.
I remember sitting there having a conversation with the landowner, me and Brad, and he was telling us, his best show years were 500 to 600 people, spectators. We told him, we're like, hey, we're going to take this to the next level. Like, we want it to grow. We're going to push it. Do a little bit of different advertising than what they've done in the past. Try to get more people there. And on top of that, at that point, I had held car and truck shows at our local shop in town, which is full, is maybe 15, 20 minutes away from the shop. The first thing I told them was like, hey, we're going to have a car truck show, semi show. Like, we're going to get some nice stuff out there earlier in the day and kind of make it a whole day event. I remember him telling me I ordered enough food for your event and his rodeo. That was 2 weeks later.
Yep.
And I remember talking to him at about 9:30 at night, and he's like, man, wait, we're going to stay open, but I don't know what I'm going to sell. Like, we've sold out of almost all of our food for everything, and it sort of way went past my expectations for the first year. I bought 1,000 wristbands. The poll started at 6. People were still coming in at 7, and I had no more wristbands to give out. The landowner said the stand could seat 1,300 to 1,400 people, and they were full. People were still walking around. So it just really took off from what they had before compared to my first year. And we just hope it keeps going up from there.
So what were they using for advertising when they were doing their thing?
Being honest with you, I'm not 100% sure what they all did. I think a lot of it was word of mouth, newspapers.
Yeah, I think Benny Sisk is the one he's talking about, which is the landowner. And I think it was the Kiwanis or the local Lions Club is the ones that used to put that on. But I think more than anything, it's right off a 71 highway in between Maryville and St. Joe. And the biggest attraction was just putting a sign out there. There's so much traffic that goes between Maryville and St. Joe. I think that's really he might have put it in the newspaper, but what Dakota and his sister have done with Facebook.
Yeah, we hit Facebook hard. Snapchat's another great way. Like, we get so many people on Snapchat, you post a picture of it, and then they just start sharing it for us. It just kind of tumbled that way. So we spent a lot of time just on social media. That was probably the biggest benefit to us compared to what they've done in the past, and you just don't see a lot of social media advertising on these, and I think that was a big success for us.
That was big.
Plus also having we had 8 semis show up for the show and shine. People enjoyed kind of seeing that.
Yeah.
Adding a little bit different stuff to it. You can come hang out all day.
Right in the Brent Roberts territory. Those Roberts boys transportation had to show. But anyway. Cody.
I guess I didn't realize you were that close to Maryville. I should have put 2 and 2 together because I did look. I did look on the map today. I gotta wonder if the weather cooperates like we're hoping and praying that it does. I gotta wonder if
I would have to go back and look. I know last time we looked, Brad's pulling up right now. Saturday is looking pretty good. Very small chance of rain
at 11
o'clock at night.
We're gonna be out there by then, aren't we?
But we're shooting to be done and out of there by then, especially with starting at 5:30.
Yep.
Get my crew going a little bit quicker maybe this year and have a lot of action really quick and fast and not a lot of downtime is kind of what we're hoping.
That's what we're moving towards, right? We want hooks in and out. We're gonna break records 3 minutes or less, right?
We're gonna need
We're doing Clint Tucker style, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. Clint Tucker. I've been watching that guy for years. The dude knows what he does. He knows what he's doing, and I've learned a lot from him. So take it to Northwest and make these little associations grow.
I like it. I like it.
The lessons are definitely universal. You don't have to be, a PPL to pull off those tricks. You can take it down to any organization and it translates and makes a good show.
Yep. And
we're actually what Ryan and I talked about. You were on the phone with us the other night, weren't you?
Yeah.
We're actually going to do something pretty cool here in Newmarket, Iowa. They are so scrunched for time with their pool because they start at like 1:00 and we all have to be out of there. I think by 5 p.m.
What date?
That is July 4th.
Bingo. There's the key.
And correct. And it starts, I think, 1:30, and we have to be off. I mean, everybody has to be out of the property by 5 because they set up. Because if you've never heard of the Newmarket 4th of July fireworks, I don't know where you live, probably under a rock. But they're huge, and they need that much time to set up between 5 and dark just to get everything set up. So what we're going to do this year up there is we're going to try the Clint Tucker telehandler, and we're going to go ahead and get these guys. I think it's going to save time. People backing up, getting on the. We're going to see how well this works in the outdoors.
Nice.
I know he had said that
how's
he
the
would
rock
plan
that you
to.
live under?
It's giant.
Yeah, that's
It's got
good.
water on 3 sides of it.
There you go.
That Cody Vanderholm, man, I tell you what, he's been to that Newmarket show. I've seen him there a couple times.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's always hotter than Balzac out there. God, that is honestly almost always one of the most miserable pulls to do anything at.
It is. You got to find some shade about every hour.
Yeah, I mean, or you'll be about as red as the flag when you get done. So,
been there.
Yeah, but they have a pretty fantastic show. Usually, it's
the cool thing is it's there's no admission to get into that pool. It's the community puts it on. They raise money, but either way, that pool's pretty cool. Also.
So going back to yours, Dakota, the first year, we just sack up and do it, and we have good results. And Brad says, you're going to do this next year. Otherwise, I'm never going to send a tech out to your farm to work on your stuff again. And that's kind of how that all worked, right?
Well, I guess you could argue that. Brad's like, well, it's too good of a turnout. We're definitely doing it again. So we gladly took it over again. We use this as a big fundraiser. We've always done it. Our car show was a small fundraiser that we did, and then we started doing this. So, I mean, everything we make, we set a little bit back to start for next year. We donate everything back into the community. So the scene that we were last year we donated right around $10,000 back to the community, and seeing that and seeing the impact we had on a couple different organizations we donated to, we all kind of sat down. We're like, we need to keep doing this. It's good for our community, bringing more people in. It's something different, giving you something to do on a long weekend if you're not going to the lake or doing whatever. And at the same time, we're having fun with it, and we are giving back to the community. So we're like, this is just right up our alley. Let's just keep doing it. It fits all of our shops.
And it's going to grow.
And it's going to grow.
What are you doing new stuff this year?
Yeah, we're doing some new things this year.
Hey, Dakota, can you speak up just a little bit? I don't think whatever mic you're talking into is not picking you up very well.
Can you hear me now?
A little better.
Okay.
Just act like you're mad at Brad and just yell.
Had like I'm mad at Brad.
Yeah, just yell.
Just don't hit it.
Oh, man, I really wanted to.
Yeah.
We are doing some new things this year. That'll be really exciting. So we are going to do a shootout. We were talking earlier about Scott and Brad not pulling together. Well, they may get the chance. We're going to take the top 3 of the night 2.6 trucks and the top 3 9,000 Profield tractors. Let them rehook again later on in the night. Winner take all, $1,000 cash payout. I mean, we'll find out who's
can't get any better.
Yeah.
Trucks versus tractors, man.
You think it's going to be a one of your cage
I've got money on Adley Barkas. She's got that brand new Hartz Turbo, man.
I got a Snapchat that says it was going to be a tractor guy.
Ooh. The old man's been doing it for a long time. My dad's been doing it for, sheesh, what is he, like 60? So probably 40 years.
But yeah, so that's something exciting, fun, something different we're going to try. See how it goes. We talked about it last year.
And the main reason is you went out to Shides quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you've watched, you're good friends with Jason Wayman. And seeing him call people out kind of gets the blood pumping a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is what we're going to consider the next best thing to call outs. Trucks versus tractors. I don't think anybody's seen it that I know of.
I haven't.
So
Charles, does that ever happen back east?
Yeah, once in a while we'll throw down an open class and we'll have like two-wheelers against super farms.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I think the two-wheelers are a little higher horsepower than that, ain't they?
Yeah, but 3,000 pounds lighter.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah, that's definitely a factor. Well, see, that's what, like the 2.6 diesel pickups compared to the P pumps. Scott Barkus has called me probably every other day, and we went back and forth on it. But, he's like, oh, you got to give us something. You got to give us something. I'm like, no, you need to give me something. You guys are making 150 more horse than we are. At least 150 horse more than we are. And they got a 4-inch higher hitch. So, we're giving up a lot. We're two-wheel drive. They're four-wheel drive. So we're going to see how close it is,
I think it's going to come down to the driver.
I think you're right. What do you guys think?
Have you guys done any testing on this? Gone up to Gary's. Personally, I've never seen this happen out here. I don't know if a sled operator, if they just run with a setting that they know is going to work. I don't know squat diddle about how sleds get set. And I know that if I owned a sled, I would want to see if a couple of them run side by side, and let's see if we can't kind of even this out before we get to the
Well, most of them
show.
Most of them are. They've got books and records on every single every single event, so they probably know. You ask any of them, they can tell you at last year at this event for this class, here's where I was at, and they can compare those notes from all that. So I would imagine they'd be pretty close. Otherwise, you're not gonna have drastic difference and put the two in the same class. Otherwise,
I think you'll find most would say that like a cut tire two-wheel drive, pound for pound, is the hardest pulling thing there is because it's the only class where your hitch point is above axle center line. No other class has that leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Agree. So I go, everybody, there's a lot of pullers out there, but if you watch the sled at all, as you guys are pulling and watching the weight that they're putting in and out of the box, typically we both, the 2.6 and the P pump class, either runs 4 to 5 bricks in Sabatka's sled, which is who's going to be there Saturday night. As far as the drop down, which is the pan that, it tells the pan to drop down into the ground, the grouser bars, stuff like that. The drop down, I think he moves it a little bit, but it all depends on the track. And this track is tough. So that's the thing that's going to dictate whether the tractors or the trucks can come out on top, whether the trucks can get up and going fast enough, because this track is so tight and takes so much power. So he might have to adjust. See, we are hooking these classes, individual classes, back to back. And we're going to run the same sled setting. So before the shoot, we've got 4 classes between them, so we got plenty of cool down time, but we're going to hook those 2 classes back to back with the exact same sled setting. If the tractors are 20, 30 foot ahead, we might make a little bit of a change just to make it a little bit more even. Vice versa. If the trucks are 20, 30 foot ahead, we might change a little bit. But really we want to stay as close to heads up as we can. But it's going to be between Dakota and the sled man on changes, because we don't want me to get up there, or Scott to get up there and throw $100 bills at the sled man. That might help us a little bit.
Yeah, Gary and I had a lot of conversations about it. It started back at the awards banquet. He and I were talking about it. And we sat there and talked about it for a good 30 minutes there, and
that's it.
Phone call and
that's a quick conversation with Gary.
Yeah.
You have like 12 Midwest goodbyes when you're at his place trying to leave.
Yep.
So we had a quick conversation there, and then we jumped on a phone call again later down the road, talked about it, and we've talked about it 2 or 3 times already this week, and I'm sure we will talk about it again maybe tomorrow. If not, we're definitely talking about it again Saturday morning when we get stuff going. We got a couple other things. We're gonna have a special meeting with all the 2.6 guys and the 9,000-pound guys before all this takes place, so they kind of understand some other stuff. We don't want anyone to be at a intentional disadvantage. So everything that I've already told Brad, we're gonna bring out a little cone. The trucks are going first in the night. We're going to go ahead and set a cone up somewhere on the side of the track saying hey, this is where the furthest truck went. So the tractor guys kind of know, and the truck guys also know where we setting at before we go into the shootout. If they want to make any last second changes or do anything, they have that ability to do that to really put on a show. So that way we can kind of see exactly where they match out. And I'd love for this to be a every year type deal, and maybe even add to it, have another shootout of some sort or call outs or something. We've been talking about a couple different things for next year, but that's something we can talk about next week.
I think before we get out of here, I want all three of them to answer who they think is going to win, a tractor or a truck. I don't even know a name, but don't you think they should have to
that would be interesting.
Put a little sway into this?
A little side betting going here.
Cody knows all about side betting.
Yeah, he's all about it.
You go to Shipshawana, there's all sorts of side bets that go on.
A lot of beer too.
Yeah,
that happens, especially over where Cody and I kind of hole up.
Yeah,
if you were Paris has a booth, has a box over on that side, and that's where a few pullers kind of congregate, and it usually ends up that a program gets torn apart and everybody kicks in a buck, and whoever wins the class, there's no odds that need to be figured. It's purely luck of the draw.
Hey, Ryan, I got to tell you this. I'm calling Brenton Beeson out right now. So Brenton just comments, sends Dakota a message on Facebook. He goes, so last minute changes. Does that mean Brad's got to change his turbo back to stock one?
Damn. Beeson, you are savage.
He's already shooting his shot.
I think didn't Brenton beat you last year?
He beats me all the time, man. Those Beesons are tough.
Yes, they are.
Brian Scott, down there in Ray, Missouri, the big town of Ray, the Prairie Prowler back in the day, if you guys remember that, does the wrenching on that tractor. And it's tough. It's mean. They get it locked down at the ground. It's mean.
I think it got first place last year at our show.
I think it did. Him or Rick Burke might have. I can't remember now.
Rick usually runs pretty well.
That track, I was talking to Dakota about that. I think it was today or yesterday. That track is so tight. A lot of us in that P-pump class run deep treads. But that track is so tight. Those deep treads, it takes the deep treads are known for hooking up on anything. Well, they hook up real good on that track where, guys like Rick Burke and a few of the others that are shaving bars down, running 3/8 bars, they're seeing a big advantage in some of our Northwest Missouri tracks because the dirt is so good. The tracks are so good that it allows those tires to slip just a little bit. So,
boy, after all the rule changes about cutting down tires, we're just going to throw somebody under the bus right out
of the gate. Cut them bars down.
That's right.
It's all about wheel speed.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff Walliser, we popped his comment. He wants to know about Tyler's truck.
It's big.
It's
right.
big.
Dakota, stand up. Can you even see the top of the hood?
No, I'm a little guy.
He had to put a bigger garage door to get that inside and then put it back up.
He just lowers the suspension.
So it's all,
Brad, I think I would have to. I don't know that I could look over the top of the hood.
Oh, Ryan, come on! You tickle the beard right there on that quarter panel.
I bet you can look at it.
There is
It's all about
6'10".
No, I bet you if I just joining late, but if I were to guess, Dakota was very good at placing angles of the camera to make it look taller than what we think it is from this side.
He thinks it's too short.
I guess you'll have to find out.
You haven't seen any pictures of this truck at Quick Trip, have you? No, that's where Tyler takes his best photos. That's where he gathers a lot of hate.
It's the lighting.
Is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so I guess this is one of our builds this year. It is on any level. It goes all the way up to 17 inches. It's on hydraulic, so we can lower this down if we wanted. Yeah, a lot of time went into this one. I mean, a lot of time went into this one. Not 100% finished, but it will be there Saturday for our show and shine stuff. I'm sure it'll be there all night. So.
Dakota, where's your personal truck?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you keep selling them. You can't build one for yourself because you keep selling them.
My other one's wrecked.
Oh no, that's what happens when crazy people in Iowa,
Kentucky.
It's the same thing.
Really?
There's Ryan. I figured Cody would be the first one.
I was gonna say, like, there's a little bit of difference there.
I mean, Kentucky, Iowa,
I mean, we do like our bourbons. I mean, I will say we do have that in common.
That's true. That's true.
We did have that conversation the other night with Ryan.
About 20 minutes, I think.
We did.
Yeah.
I'm over here like I drink Jim Beam. They're over here talking about their fancy whiskeys and bourbons and right over the top, man.
Nah.
We'll get you today one of these days.
Someday I'll grow up.
Yep. Someday you'll grow up and you'll start appreciating.
You're right. I do like a fine whiskey. I just don't know. I mean, really, I call Ryan. I'm like, hey, man, what do I need to buy? And then he tells me, and I go to the store, and it's not there.
Well, that's because you're talking to the wrong bourbon guy, because I also live in BFE, and we don't have good selections. So I'll tell you what on the shelf that you can get.
Oh, I'm talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah.
That's fair. Tell him right now what he should be looking for.
Cooper's Craft is a very nice $32 to $36 bottle. If you want, I don't know if you guys can get Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. Fairway's been a solid choice for me.
Yeah, you can't be Fairway.
Yeah.
Same with our briskets, right, Ryan?
Yep.
100%.
So those are some of those, but yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of like that one, that you guys going back and forth, you and Ryan going back and forth on whiskeys, kind of like going back and forth on pitchers. I think one of you caught the glimmer of the side shields of the Gambler, and the one hasn't. It's really hard to get that picture. And one of them got it. I can't remember which one.
I got it because I said, hey.
I think it was Cody.
I said, you know what? You give a shit about this all the time about no one can get the picture of the Glimmer, and here it is, and you didn't even buy it. That's
not fair because somebody was supposed to send me a list of all the photos they got from me and Dad this year, and Dad had cash in his hand.
Yeah. Say we can start playing that game.
Oh gosh. Well, you bring all the pictures, and I'll bring the cash this Saturday, Cody.
I honestly, it's gonna depend on how Saturday goes.
Yeah,
if I can make it.
You're probably busy. You're probably busy right now. Unfortunately, you are busy.
Yeah, they came out today and said it was an EF3. So,
which one?
The
it looked like there were like 3 of them inside of one.
Yeah, so that was actually a different tornado.
Oh,
that was the Greenfield one, right?
Yeah. So from what it tracked, it looked like the one that started our house, like by our place, went to Greenfield, but the one that went to Greenfield started south of Villisca on the east side of the river there, and ours went. They were 4 miles apart, and crossing paths at some point. But yeah, so that one was an EF4. This was an EF3.
Jeez.
So, but
so if that one that hit Greenfield started around Villisca, that was a long track event, wasn't it?
About 44 miles. The tornado, the one from our farm went 32.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So
those are unusually long tracks on both of those.
Yeah. Well, Iowa's leading the nation in tornadoes right now. Just on Tuesday, there was like, what they say, Ryan Hall said there's like 481 weather alerts just from Iowa on Tuesday. So
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're talking potential 80-mile-an-hour winds tonight. So all that debris, all that debris and stuff we just cleaned up out of the cornfield that's going to get sprayed in a week needs to be re-cleaned up potentially. That's going to be fun.
That'll be great.
Yeah. So it's going to depend on how things go, and it also, if I come down, it may depend on whether I hang a camera in my hand because my shoulder's pretty well gone already. So
you just had surgery too, didn't you?
Yeah, they didn't fix anything, so that's the problem.
That's great.
Sounds like his old football days.
Yeah, they cut in and said you need a full shoulder and you're too young. We won't give you one. So see ya. Here's your bill.
I know a guy that builds lifts and hydraulics.
Yeah,
you can fix them.
Not the same deal.
Worthless.
Sure, come on, Kelderman's got to be able to build something to act like a shoulder.
I feel like he can do
I
it.
bet we could.
Half robot, half man.
We could probably figure something out there.
Yeah.
$6 million.
Battery?
Yeah. Battery operated. Yeah.
Yep. Milwaukee. Dewalt. I don't care. One of those two.
All right, I like her a lot.
Yeah, I just bought a power washer from her last week. She has to like me.
You bring the camera.
You bought a power washer?
Yeah, they're selling a power
Andrea,
washer.
you sell power washers in your boutique?
No,
Dude, she sold everything.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Actually, I think it's more
there.
It's more of her husband sold it, but I think she listed it one of those deals. And yeah, mom and dad need a power washer. So
yeah, now they really need one.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna get a comment pretty soon, so I'm gonna beat her to it. I think it's ex-husband now.
Oh.
And on cue.
Nicely done, both of you.
Well.
Wow. So
yeah, see, told you, I beat her.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, let's try and bring this back on track.
We're sidetracked a little.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I'm here for.
So this is a 2-day affair, though. So let's talk Friday night. What's happening tomorrow night?
So Friday night, we're trying this out. It's going to be the first time I think it's really ever been done around here. They used to have it, I think, over in Osborne.
Yep.
We're going to do some dirt drags. We're going to keep it pretty plain Jane. We want to see anything from, your bone stock truck. If you want to come out, we're going to have a class for a bone stock truck. If you have something that's slightly modified or anything like that, or anything, we're going to find a class for it. So we're going to have some sponsors. We're going to go ahead or vendors. We're going to go ahead and start, the show and shine. Let them come out early. If the semi guys want to have their lights on, or the truck guys want to have their underglow on, or anything like that, we're going to let them have some fun in the night. And then on top of that, we're going to let some side by sides go down. We're going to let some trucks, gas, diesel, a little bit of everything, just go flying down the track, see what they can do.
You didn't mention one. What about the 16-year-old with dad's farm truck? Did they get a race?
Why not? Why not? If they got a license, we're good. We're good. License, you can go down.
Picking drive shafts up
I
off
am
the
not
track.
giving you my trailer though to take it home. You can call your dad back. But I might know a shop that could maybe help you out getting it fixed.
And all of a sudden, they're looking for a tow truck sponsor for the event.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's Kaiser's?
Yeah. We might
Someone needs to get hold of
we
Kaiser.
might have to have them on standby.
We're going to have Kaiser's on standby.
Open 23 hours and 30 minutes a day. He says you
Are they
always got
closed for lunch or what?
No, he said you never know when you got to take a shit.
All right, that's fair.
There he goes. So,
You never know.
God,
now that we called him out, you got to get a sponsor from him.
That's a good shout out too, right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Good lead into that.
But yeah, so we're gonna try that Friday. Be something different, a little bit of an experiment for us. We'll see how it goes. If it goes good, we'll do it again next year. If it doesn't, maybe we're looking to doing something different. I guess if it goes really well, maybe we'll have a second event. But that's besides. Wow, we'll see. We'll see how everything goes come in the night on Friday. We'll put it that way.
That's fair. Now you told me that that back in the day there was some dirt drag. There was it was somewhat popular back in the day, but it hasn't been. It's kind of fallen out of favor.
It kind of has. I remember when I was shortly out of high school and in college, you could drive hour and a half, 2 hours away from here, and I could think of two places that would have these races. And, they'd start 7, 8 o'clock at night, and it might be midnight, 1 o'clock, and you're starting to head home. And I think they do them a couple times a year. So it used to be a pretty big deal. I talked to some of the mud run guys. Some of them, they go to a couple of them with our dirt drags. There is one that's kind of sort of local. It's not a real big one. It's kind of just like like our association, we're just going to throw this together in one of our buddies' fields. He has a little track. So, I mean, they kind of do that, but there's not been one where it's like, hey, whoever wants to come out, do it, come watch. It's just not a real advertised event when they do theirs, at least to my acknowledgement.
Chris Asherman says, say cheese, fucker.
Nice.
I tell you what, it's those
that is a
4-1
very
guys.
Chris Ashleman thing to say.
Isn't it? I mean, the guy's just, I mean, I'm wondering where this engine's at. I keep on hearing he's getting new power plants and
kind of seems
I
like
don't know.
if it's coming from the same place it used to, it would be close enough that he could just haul the semi down there and pick a motor up and then come and grace us with his presence.
I agree. Chris, call out right there, man.
There you go.
Right there. Let's see you at Graham, Missouri.
That's right. Where you at,
Barnard, Missouri. We are. Yeah, we're gonna. You might even have a couple pro stocks, I hear.
Yarks, Cody might come up.
Oh boy, that's tough.
If he gets everything together.
He won points last year, I think, didn't he? Did Cody win points last year, Cody Yard?
I kind of think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought he did.
Yeah. Not bad for trying to melt his tractor down in Texas and, having it spread all over the internet for 6 weeks straight.
Yeah. Yep.
That was the most famous 5.0 Pro in the country for quite a good long while. And shout out to those guys who got that thing stopped.
Do you guys sidetrack here again for you? But do you expect to see 5.0 Pro stocks in Louisville ever, or just big pros?
I personally would say I hope not.
I don't see it happening either.
I was wondering. I know I know PPL added it and Outlaws had it for a while, and I didn't know if that was going to become a thing or not.
Yeah, and NTPA is in their second or third year of it.
Yeah, third year, and ITPA is now 5.0.
Yep. If you're pulling pro stocks with ITPA, it will have a 5-inch charger on it.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, that way you make sure you right size your turbo for when you debut that pro stock.
So back to Dakota's event. I know I'd tell Ryan tonight. What are you guys seeing for insurances right now? Event insurances.
Let the record state that Brad deflected when I mentioned building a pro stock. And now we can move on to insurance.
There's a bird in here, Dakota.
Yeah.
The bird.
I don't have any. Turn on the AC in the shop. It's getting a little warm over there. He hit menopause all of a sudden.
Get some man hot flashes.
I'll be honest with you guys. I will never build a pro stock, but I will. And I've told Josh Hanna this ever since I was tall enough to walk. I mean, since I could put a sentence together. And it's still the same today. Someday I will own an NTPA super farm. Because whenever I watched him as a kid go out to Gordyville, back when it was Gordyville, and him and Taylor Van Beek battled it out in the finals. And he ended up, I think he won the prelims, but then he lost in the finals to him. I was stuck on super farms. I just, the sound they make and the way they grunt, I will own someday a full-blown NTPA super farm.
Now, who battled it out?
It was it was I just said his name was
Taylor something.
Yeah, Taylor Van Beek, back when he owned the Extreme Pleasure Super Farm, and Josh Hanna used to be Super Farm. So Northwest
learned something tonight.
And in the early 2000s, Northwest had a Super Farm class back when it was a 3x3, 640 3x3, I believe. And Josh never really went to the big shows with it, but he decided to load it up and go to Gordyville, one of his last 3 years, I think, of running it, and go test his luck. And I think Van Beek was going to Louisville that year in the Super Farm class, and he beat him in the prelims, but then lost him in the finals by maybe a foot. I mean, they were close. And Josh's Super Farm, that's where I fell in love with Super Farms, from Josh Hanna. And then
did he sell the Super Farm and build the 85, or did he turn it into?
So back in the day, Super Farm. So Adrian Cox, which is my dyno guy, big shout out to Big Cox Motorsports. But so Adrian Cox came on the scene. Yeah, Adrian Cox came on the scene with a 466 3x3, and he said, "I'm gonna beat you." Him and Josh Hanna had it out for each other. They were battling back and forth back before they were on the same team, so to speak. And they would go back and forth every night. And those 466s with a 3x3 or 3x4 were running with these super farms. I don't think Adrian caught them very many times. That super farm just loved it, but that's where Northwest switched from the super farm class. It used to be 9,200 pounds super farm. We switched it, and whenever Adrian started coming on the scene, we moved it to the 8,500 limited pro. That class started taking off, and so our super farm naturally turned into the 8,500 limited pro.
I see. Okay.
Back when Rich Johnson, Adrian Cox, all in, Mike Eccles.
Yeah.
Grimes was in that class. Trent and Gerald Grimes. I mean, that class was stacked with talent. I mean, and now you've seen them. They've all built 4.1s or light pro stocks. So it's kind of cool to see.
Was Cody in there too?
Cody
Shea.
Oh,
so I don't know. I don't think Cody was ever down that low. I think Cody Shea's always been pro stock that I know of anyway. Was he super farm before?
Yes,
he was. He was an 80. At one point, he was an 85. I got a shot of him when he was an 85 in Adel, Iowa.
Okay. I learned something new.
It was 66 sheet metal. It eventually ended up going out to Rogier's, and now it's horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yep. I do remember that tractor. And it's, what is it, 4.1 now?
Yeah.
Yep. Gotcha. So yeah, we made the transition from super farm to 8,500 limited pro. But that Josh Hanna was one of the, I guess you could call it the last of the dying breed of the super farms. Back in the day, it was John Osborne, Josh Hanna, Rodney Knott. Rodney Knott had one super farm. It was an Alice Chalmers. Him and Bryce Terry had it together.
I've heard about that tractor.
Gosh, what was it called? I can't remember. Tayton would know. Tayton would be able to tell you right away. But I love watching that little Alice. Him and Knothead had it. And then Rodney Davison up down there at DPE, they had a super farm too. That was a good class of super farms. Coleman's had one called the Playmate. It was a super farm. Mike Barton. So
Robert Hill just said it was the Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Hunter, that's it. Yep. D21 Bounty Hunter. Speaking of Robert Hill, gosh, I hope he shows up Saturday. I haven't seen that guy for a long time. He had a little boy.
He did.
Yeah.
A little boy.
He did. And I imagine that they've already gotten pictures taken together wearing matching overalls.
Yes, I hope so.
I'm almost positive they have.
If they did, I've got to look it up. I'm going to have to look it up on Facebook.
If they don't, they need to.
I think Jessica already posted them.
Yes.
So, yeah, it would be good to see. It would be good to see you out, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you learned in, let's call it a year and a half for 2 years of promoting, about the game? Or maybe the better question is, you said you'd promoted car shows and meets and truck meets and all that. You've done that before.
Yeah. Smaller ones, yeah. Nothing real crazy. Like I say, smaller, like let's do this next month type deal, and just put a couple posts out, and that's what it was. So it was smaller. So this is
just for Maryville.
Yeah,
it was a local event, small, at his shop.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think we were talking like ice cream crews. So
definitely definitely not. So I mean, now I do get a lot bigger pull coming to this event. I got a couple sponsors. I got one sponsor coming up, having a booth from Oklahoma, Liberty Forge, the wheel company. They're coming up. They've been here for a while.
Right there.
But as far as stuff I've been learning, I mean, that first year I learned a lot that first 60 days. Anything from, what are probably the biggest thing I learned after the event, I guess, I should have started with is pay attention to your order. I kind of thought, halfway through, I was like, let's get 4 classes in. Let's slow it down a little bit. Let everyone go, have an intermission, maybe run some of the, the 6,500 non-turbos or something like that. And I just did that at the wrong time because they left the stands did not come back. Yeah. So learned my lesson there. But I mean, paying attention to my order. That was something that I've learned a lot of. I learned a lot on just how like all the little things. I used to always go to pulls, never really thought of like, hey, what are they doing in between hooks? What are they, doing in the background, and what's everyone else doing besides, what's just on the track? So in my mind, all it was, you just got to have someone to hook the tractor up or a truck, and you just got to have someone undo it. You got a flagger, and you got a couple people running up and down tractors. It sounds pretty simple. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, I'll bet.
From finding people to run everything to, hey, we're still in the field or this or that. Can you find someone else? Yeah, sure, I'll find someone else. And I got 2 hours to find someone, to trying to find, all the little things. I have to have wristbands. I have to have this, that, insurances, all that. And, it's just a bunch of stuff I did not think of, which luckily I did have a lot of people helping me out. Like Brad kind of gave me a list of like, hey, this is the things you're going to need to put the show on. Call this person, that person, this one. And, he gave me a really good head start. But he didn't know everything that I absolutely need, like, the little things like
I have learned, I will say, while he's talking, I have learned more about putting on a show, helping him than, there's a difference between being a president of an organization and actually helping him, dive into what it takes, how many tractors you need for scrapers, and food, even how much food you need, and stuff like that.
Like one of the things, there's a bunch of little things that you don't think of that's very important. Like I remember being out there last year on Friday and kind of looking over everything, kind of get some stuff set up. And I think Brad called me and said, hey, you got your chalk line and all that. And I was like, man, I didn't even think about needing chalk or anything like that. So I called the local high school. I was like, hey, can I borrow this? Like, I'll go buy some chalk, give you a little donation. But there's just a bunch of little things like that I didn't even pay attention to, didn't think about until it came around to, hey, let's put a poll on. Let's see what we can do. So, there's so many little things that,
those little things that you guys did in a short amount of time made you promoter of the year last year, though, too.
Yeah, that we were.
Hey, flour's cheaper than chalk.
It is.
Flour.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I thought I would throw that in there. Flour's cheaper.
There you go. Now Cody is a consultant. He will be sending you a bill.
Absolutely, I will. Yep. Sam's Club, you buy the big concrete sack full of flour. You're welcome.
Sam's Club must be a sponsor.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh man.
I would plaster that shit on the side of my truck if they were. And there's not a single sticker on it. So
what are you doing?
But yeah, there's so many little things. Like I got a notebook full of just little pages of this or that, like just little things I'm needing. Like, oh, what's some of the other, like just even down to like pens. I need pens. I need paper. There's so many little things.
The thing that I like, and all my promoters are very good. Every single one of my promoters are very good. The nice thing is Dakota has taken upon himself to be my guinea pig, lack of better words. He's trying a lot of this stuff out. When I was a kid, one of the things I remember the most is going to these bigger shows and seeing the leader flag move. Do you have that thing here? You don't have it here. So he's built a light up leader flag for the crowd because I remember watching that. Back in the day they used to use tape measures and you had to wait for 5 minutes to see what the distance was. Now it's a little bit more obviously with GPS and everything else, it's a lot faster. But still, whenever you watch somebody drive past the leader cone, it's just totally different. When you can see where the leader was and somebody just made a heck of a pull, it's just a different environment for the crowd, for the puller, everybody. And that's one thing I told him, I think it was like 2 days ago, you already got it built. Like 2 days ago, I was like, let's bring that back. Let's bring that leader cone flag back. He's like, hey, how about a whip? I got one of them light up whips for a ATV. I was like, bet, let's do it. And I wish we had the video. We'd put it on here.
Yeah, try to get the crowd a little more into it.
It's all about. I mean, that's what we're doing. We are here. We are hired entertainment. I mean, not so much as a circus. We look like clowns sometimes, but I mean, honk. But we are hired entertainment to put on a show for the public, and that's what he is very good at. Is he's always asking me, how can I make it better? A lot of my promoters do that, just like Newmarket and doing this telehandler thing, or BJ. BJ's worked on their parking and worked on their sign up and their lineup and stuff. Every one of my promoters is working at being better, and that's what the sport needs.
Yeah, I would agree. Continuous improvement. So, Dakota, does this mean that like you're rolling around with, the day of or the week before with a little notebook in your pocket and a golf pencil and you're scribbling things down?
Believe it or not,
like stuff to remember for next year?
Like 2 papers, I just carry them around like this in my truck. And when I think of something, like I just jot something down. Like these are all full of random notes. Here's another one. If I think of something like, hey, maybe we need to look into this for next year, I'll jot it down, run it by a couple different pullers. Like when we started talking about this shootout deal, I talked to Brad about it. Actually, I talked to him about it last year, like the week before I showed. I was like, hey, you think we could do this? And he's like, that sounds like a great idea, but it's your first year. Let's not just keep it quiet. Let's wait till next year, and we'll go from there. So that's what we did, and I've ran probably 100 other things by Brad, and then I'll even turn around, I'll holler at, a handful of other pullers. I'll say something to Scott Barkus. I'll say something to Chad Townsend, Kylie Hoyt, Brenton Beeson, and just be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. Like, what's your opinion as a puller? Like, you think it's a good idea, bad idea? You think it'd be good? And, that way I'm not just asking one person, kind of see what everyone thinks, trying to make a better show than what I did last year. I mean, I'm not trying to compete with any of the other shows around. I just want to make my show better than what it was the year before. That's all I'm trying to do there.
How are you gauging, aside from asking, you're the pullers and Brad and, some of the people on your team, what they think of something? How are you gauging success with the audience? Are you putting out like, throwing up a survey on Facebook the week after the event or anything? Or
I am not. I should look into that. That is a good idea. My first year at the drivers meeting, the start of, we just straight up said like, hey, this is our first show. If you have any feedback, good or bad, I don't care. I want to hear it. I put something on Facebook or after our first year, saying like, hey, thanks for everyone coming out. Like, let me know your feedback. I had a bunch of messages, saying like, hey, everything was great. It was great. But then I had a few that was like, hey, this was an issue. That was an issue. And I really focused on that. Like, hey, what can I make better? So last year we thought by how we did our announcing stand, we set it all up at the end of the track. I had it right next to the weights. It made everything from Northwest super, super easy because they had to walk 15 feet, just basically right across a gravel road, and they're right at the scales. Everyone is right there. It made it super simple. Well, the issue we had there was if you're on the complete opposite side of the track at the start line, you couldn't hear very well. So, like, that was a big complaint. So, this year we moved stuff around. We should have that fixed. Another issue some people were having was, hey, a lot of us got pull-off vehicles, but we never want to use them, but let's have one on standby. So we had one on standby, which I did, but I did not have someone ready to operate it. So there's just, little things like that. You can grow the most, in my opinion, from what's your weakness and then grow it that way and try to make that better. So that's where I'm at on it is took all my comments or if they said, this is great. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. I'm not going to change anything on that. I'm going to focus more towards where was my issues. We were very green, like in between hooks. I had a couple people that's done it before. I had a couple people jump in here and there that, never done it, but they did a great job. And also for it being the first hook of the year, everyone's a little rusty, everyone's a little slower, but, I've already talked with everyone that's going to help me on that. I was like, hey, let's try to get this in between. Let's cut down on time. Like, what can we do? Can we do this? Can we do that? We looked into having a second packer, just wasn't able to work this year. hopefully next year we can have a second packer and second scraper at the beginning to really kind of cut down on some time. But, there's other things, we're trying to do to try to keep stuff moving quicker. That way there's not a lot of downtime. Last thing I want is for you as a puller to be like, hey, we're here at 1 o'clock in the morning, no one's here, and we still got 2 more classes, and you're ready to go home. Like, I don't want that. I mean, last year we started our first hook around probably a little after 6:15, 6:30, somewhere around there.
Probably. I left at 11:45.
I did not walk off the track, unhooking the last truck until a little after 1:30, which we had diesel work stock
and semis last year.
So, I mean, it was a late night, but from 11:30 on, only people in the crowd were either my staff or people waiting to still pull themselves. So I want to get that knocked down a lot. So that's why we're starting a little bit earlier. And I got a crew of about 8 or 9 guys to run, 3 or 4 tractors. And I'm like rotate in and out. I got people for hooking and unhooking. Like, let's keep everyone fresh and no one's wore out. And we can try to get stuff going as quick as we can.
Nice. So what advice would you give to somebody who's doing this for the first time? Somebody else who got voluntold or volunteered or
this
whatever.
is gonna kind of contradict itself. Listen to everyone around you, but at the same time, don't. If that makes sense. I had basically when Brad called me and said, "Hey, let's do this. You'd be a great fit." I said, "Hey, give me 24 hours. Let me just call some people around. Let me think about it. Let me see if I can get some sponsor money going." And, I had some people just straight up tell me like, "Dude, don't do it. It's so much stress. It's not worth it. It's unappreciated. You won't please anyone. It's just not worth it. You're just going to have nothing but people complain about whatever you do." And then on the complete other side, you have people saying like, "Yeah, that's great. Like, I want to see an event stay there. I don't want it to leave. Here's some ideas. This is what we didn't like." So, yes, listen to the people that are telling you like, "Hey, it's hard work," because it is hard work and it is stressful, but don't let them scare you. Just for the fact of, it can be whatever you make it to be is how I look at it. So, end of the day, I had a lot of people tell me don't do it. They won't be appreciated. The next week and even the day of, I had a lot of pullers, come up to me like, "Hey, we're glad you took this over. It's a great show. Thanks for doing it. I hope you do it again." And then even months later, heck, even what the awards banquet was quite some time later, I had, people coming up to me then still like, "Hey, that was a heck of a pull. Thanks for putting it on. Like, we love that place. It was great. We really appreciate you doing it." Where if, at the beginning, if I would have just listened to the first 10 people I called, majority of them said, "Don't do it." I would have never known how appreciative a lot of people would have been. So for the ones saying that they're not appreciative, I've had more people be appreciative that I did it than anything. But my biggest advice would just be careful who you listen to and don't be afraid to try something different. Like we have our different thing this year is the shootout. That's our big thing. I guess the dirt tracks too, but the big thing.
You think Adelie Barkus wins that shootout? She's going to buy makeup and hair products. I don't see it. I see turbos.
Is that Scott or Krista's decision at that point?
Oh no,
that might be different.
Adelie's gonna be 16 here in like a month. I think her and her dad just flew out to Colorado to buy some hot rod, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yep. Bought a little Charger, wasn't it?
I think you're right.
I think it was. I think it was white and
it runs hard. What did Scott say? It's long-legged. It's a long-legged car.
I haven't got a ride in it yet. Challenger.
Ooh, that's a nice hot rod.
Mm-hmm. Manual.
Ooh, that's even better.
It is manual. I know. Yeah, it's manual. And she's if you know anything about Adelie Barkus, I brag on that girl a lot. I've known her since she was. Well, I moved to Hopkins about 6 years ago, and that's when I really got to know her. She used to show sheep for me, but that girl is headstrong and fearless, and that's what you need in this world. Just like Dakota's talking about, being a promoter. you've got to be fearless. You've got to know that there is a chance you're going to fail and still choose to put the work ahead and the work in. So failure is not an option, basically. So
Well, get on your guinea pig. If I fail, I'm just going to put it on you.
yeah, I mean that's the thing. If this shootout doesn't work, if 5 trucks come out, or 3, if the 3 trucks go ahead of the tractors, I mean it's Brad's fault. He didn't do something right. And that's fine. I got big shoulders.
So the lesson here, kids, is make sure if you're going to be a promoter that you have a scapegoat.
That's right.
Everyone needs Brad.
Everybody needs a Brad, huh?
Oh gosh,
Cody, what were you about to say?
I was going to say I haven't figured out how to get her riled up yet, though.
Oh, Adelie?
Yeah.
You really want to know? Should I put this on Facebook?
No.
You can send it to me later.
I don't know. I'm thinking about putting it on Facebook.
Have you ever made her mother mad?
Her mom?
Yes.
That's not possible. She's HR at Northwest, buddy. She will just ignore you. You cannot make her mom mad.
Oh, I have a fantastic story about Scott.
I'm about positive you could.
Well, there's certain wording and well, I mean, you do anything to her daughters, I mean, she's gonna be like a bear coming at you, and I don't want that. All 4'7" of Krista Barkus. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
No business.
True. Kind of be really great if any of the Barkus family was actually watching. I don't know.
I just messaged Scott. And I'm like, "Are you not watching live?"
Yeah, because we've baited them enough that at some point in time, one of them is going to say, "Hey, shut up, morons."
You know what?
A great story about Scott, though, that I feel like needs to be told.
Let's hear it.
Scott, it was last year. And I said, one of these days I need to come down there. And he said, why don't you come down here tonight? And I was like, what's going on? He's like, we're having a potluck. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, on the way there, he informs me the potluck is at his in-laws. So I'm the non-family member at a Missouri potluck at Scott's in-laws. And the only people I know are Scott, Addie, and Krista. And I'm the awkward, friend of Scott, and Addie and her sister are like, do you have permission to sleep over tonight, or what time's your curfew? And I was like, God damn it,
what do
Scott.
I do with my hands?
I was like, this is the most Missouri shit you're ever gonna run into.
Did you bring anything? Did you bring a dish?
Did you have Brees bring something at least?
No, but I said next year I'll bring something. So I'm invited this year, and I have to bring something. Because I thought it was just Scott and the family potluck. I didn't realize it was the in-laws, and he needed somebody to talk to.
So on the Scott Barkus thing, it's not unknown during pulling season to have potlucks on Sundays at his house. And I'm here to tell you, the family volleyball games get wild. When you see Larry Roberts in shorts and a cutoff, that guy's ruthless with a volleyball.
Wow.
But he's hey, speaking of Larry Roberts, he should have his new P pump out pretty soon. Greg and Austin Potter are working on it right now. I think it might be at year full. It's going to be the first time that tractor's been out in, I think, 2 or 3 years.
Is that the 4010?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
The old white hood, way back in the day, white hood.
Okay. Yep. I know the tractor.
Yep.
I sent Scott a Snapchat last weekend, 2 weekends ago, whatever the Northern Lights is. I said, what are you doing? You're in the recliner naked eating Cheetos or what? Because I was a mile from his house, and they went to where the hell they went to some pole, and I was parked at Brent's house down by the road, and they would drop the truck off, and then he come back, see the hell was parked down the road. He's like, oh, I didn't recognize you when I drove by. Yep. So I was I'm just chasing
that. Cody says, hey, he calls Scott and says, hey, I'm in your area. But Brad's just right across 148, 5 miles. Don't call Brad.
Well, you don't Snapchat me every day.
Wife at the time, dude.
I keep telling Scott, I was like, I feel like I need to. This is how the Missouri potluck started. Is I kept telling Scott, I feel like I need to hang out with you more often. He's like, why is that? I was like, because your wife works around a lot of single women, and I feel like this could be a thing. And then he's like, well, why don't you come down tonight? And that's how that happened. And that's how I ended up in a Missouri potluck. But yeah,
and there were no single women, right?
No. There was not. They're all well. I mean, I don't know what his daughter's status are, but they're not my age range. So
not at all.
No.
No, I think that'll.
I just figured there's got to be somebody in the HR department at Northwest that's single, my age range, and all the above. But here we are.
Are we turning this into a dating show? Or what?
Is this a dating site? Is this eHarmony?
Jeez.
Absolutely. Christian mingle. Let's go.
That's right.
Presenting on Pullers Only, Mr. Cody Vanderholm, an eligible bachelor from Southwest Iowa.
That's how that all started. But that's Mark Hams. That Mark Hams wants to do Pullers Only, or whatever it is. But
yes, and Cody enjoys long walks on a beach and 300-foot walks on a pulling track and
never done long walks on a beach.
Tornadoes and
well, my neighbors do think I'm a storm chaser, so here we are.
And he likes pina coladas and dancing in the rain.
Dancing in the rain. You gotta have that. You gotta have that dancing. So Andrea.
Yeah.
Not knowing the divorce. Hey, Cody, I think there's an eligible bachelor currently on Facebook.
You mean bachelorette?
That's it. Yep.
Yep. I mean, I'm going to draw a hard line in the sand there.
So I've got a piece of paper right here in front of me. Charles, are you taking a truck or a tractor?
It's from the classes you got listed, right?
It's in between the top 3 from the 2.6 and the top 3 from the 9,000 people.
I'm taking a truck.
Charles says truck. Ryan?
I'm following suit.
Oh my gosh, Cody. Don't let the tractor guys down.
I'm a truck guy.
Okay, I'm taking a picture of this. And if you guys are right, I'm going to eat crow. If you guys are wrong, Malo's on you guys.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Man, no love for you, Brad.
You see,
Andrea says tractor.
Hey, see, there you go. Cody's already out. He already said the wrong thing.
Oh, yeah.
Dang, you tried to get you hooked up there, buddy.
It was a good try.
You don't have to agree on everything. Just saying.
It was a good try.
How many times?
Very rarely do we agree on something.
Right. So I'm saying.
Likewise.
Unless it's about no, spending money, we don't agree because she wants to spend money on sheep. You want to spend money on trucks.
Yeah.
And she already made a comment that you already have too many expensive hobbies. So.
Yeah, that's you. My wife did.
Don't worry.
No.
Oh
no.
That guy.
Jess.
Yes. My wife.
Yes, that guy does.
It was when we were talking about whiskey. She's like, he's already got enough expensive hobbies.
Yeah, I got a little collection going on.
Little collection.
Yeah, it's yeah. Besides the point.
I was going to ask, what are you drinking tonight?
This is a newer one for me. I found when we were down in Kentucky. Actually the same thing I was drinking when I was talking to you the other night. Elijah Craig Toasted. It is actually really, really good. Yes,
very, very good.
Probably one of my new favorites.
Ryan,
I wish I would have bought more than one bottle.
You can find that around here.
It is hard every now and then.
Ryan and I, 2 years ago, we did Evans Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, we did the Evan Williams, and one of our friends, her brother's an artist and distiller at Evan Williams, and I said, I want something I can't find in Iowa. And he goes back and finds something. He brings back Evan Williams Toasted Barrel, and it was delicious. So can confirm and agree on that.
There's a Toasted Barrel, right?
There's a lot of great ones down there.
Yeah.
A lot of great ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody went a little overboard on that trip.
We came home
we both bought
I was going to say.
We came back with, I think, 17 or 18 bottles.
18 bottles on the table. But one of those was for Kara. We didn't forget about her.
Yep, one of them was for my wife. All the rest was and that didn't include the ones that we might have killed during Week of Farm Show.
So I got a question for you.
Allegedly.
Penelope.
Mainly for Cody and Ryan. Charles, you know Scott Vargas, don't you?
I do not.
Okay, so Cody and Ryan do. And I just Snapchatted Scott and I said, hey, why aren't you watching Ryan's live on Sidetrack? He goes, What's that? And you guys still pick truck.
We're gonna have words.
You guys still pick the trucks.
You know, we love him, but
Britton was watching.
We're watching.
Yeah.
The tractor guys are watching. It's a shame.
we
say,
love Scotty, but let's be very clear. He gets laser focused on something, and he lives under a rock.
He's driving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put it on Bluetooth.
Can confirm you can still do that. We watched Clarkson Farms on the way to Louisville once.
Allegedly.
Oh, you got
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I was watching. Ryan was driving. I mean, if we
Yes.
ever got stopped, I was watching. He was driving. That's how that happened.
True.
Uh-oh. Shots fired?
Ooh, I think so. I think so on that one.
There's shots fired on Snapchat. We've got a guy, Peyton Coleman, says Duramax is going to beat Scott Barkus. He might not even make the finals.
Coleman, you willing to put up or shut up on that?
Ooh.
Are you writing that down?
Yeah, that probably ought to go on your piece of paper.
Peyton Coleman.
And if he's wrong, he's buying Malo for all of us. Charles, Malo is a great Mexican restaurant in Des Moines.
It's the best.
Very good margaritas, very good menu. Very.
I thought they were closing.
No. Very exuberant pricing.
You have to get the Iowa corn is like a creamed corn with some special type of cheese on the top. It is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take you up there. You've never had tacos and margaritas like that.
I
My
like
wife
tacos.
was wasted after the first drink Ryan ordered her.
Kara wasn't happy with
allegedly.
the margaritas last time we were there, though.
Really?
Little stout or what?
No. I think maybe a little weak.
Ooh.
The last time that Cody and Kara.
That's
and I
no
were
fun.
there.
That's no fun.
No.
Usually they are good though.
Yeah. But no, one of the partners actually stepped in late in the game and bought out the rest of said partners. So I don't know where it's going to reopen. I don't think it's going to be in that building.
Britain.
But it is what it is. We'll still have the food, the bartenders, and the booze, and yeah.
I don't know if this is relative, but there's a guy that just texted Beemer and wanted to know if he was going to be getting his your tanning bed soon.
Oh yeah, my wife bought a tanning bed today. Because I'm here not supervising my wife evidently, so she went and bought a tanning bed in the last hour, I guess.
The fact that you said supervising your wife tells me that you're going to sleep in that tanning bed for a couple of weeks.
Hey, you're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. We got a bunch of whiskey in the shed, so that may not be a bad idea.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I don't think I'm gonna get in it.
You used to do it all the time when you were in college. Back when you were playing college football.
I was outside all the time, so I look good. Still look good, Brad. You know that.
All right. Well, now the bromance has turned a corner. This is getting weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's 3 other guys on this show. They get got weird quick.
Give me that whiskey. You're done. You're done.
She done.
Awkward.
Well, so run through Showtime. What's it cost to get in? Are people gonna go hungry there, and I mean all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So Friday we're open the gates at 6:00. We're doing test and tune on the dirt drags from 6 to 7:30. We'll start the races at 7:30. There will be food there. Benny, the landowner, he makes some great food. Like not your standard like hot dogs, hamburgers. Like we're talking tenderloins, barbecue, really good pulled pork, chicken strips. Like he kind of goes all out with this. Then we also got a popcorn guy coming, Coltrane energy drinks. They're going to be there, so you can stay up for a little while. Yeah, and then Saturday we're going to open the gates up at 10 a.m. For anyone that wants to come in. We're going to start the show and shine, trucks, side-by-sides, semis, a little bit of everything. We'll have some vendors. We're going to shoot to start the track at 5:30 is when we're shooting to start on the track. It's going to be $15 a day to get in, or $25 for a weekend pass. 10 and under is free. Make sure you come hungry, because I tell you what, Benny's food, I will sit there and eat all day long. He knows how to cook. He knows how to cook.
Can confirm. I ate that last year. It was delicious.
Yeah. I don't think I've had anything bad from him.
I don't know. I know my daughter loves it.
Yeah. And
Chicken strips and fries.
it's not like, you go to McDonald's, you spend $10 and you're like, man, I kind of want some more. It's like you spend $10 and you're like, I'm going to have to throw part of this away, because what am I going to do with it? He's very generous. Very generous.
Nice.
So make sure you come hungry.
I just posted 170 photos from last year. So there you go.
Yeah.
Were you at this show last year?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Shout out to Cody Vanderholm Media for coming to the Northwest events. We appreciate you, Cody.
I actually went to college with Cheyenne, so I know her quite well. Never mind. We're gonna not talk about that, but I know Cheyenne quite well.
Cheyenne must be the tanning bed expert.
No.
Cheyenne
Sisk.
Right?
It's
Pittman, right?
Pittman
now. Yeah, she married Jacob, but maiden name would be Sisk. So where the event's at. Yep. So I went to college with Cheyenne, and she's a lot of fun.
They definitely dated.
No, we did not. We're really close.
I hear we might have a little photography battle there.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
We need that. Everybody's talking about different promoters, one-upping each other.
Yeah, we need to talk about these photographers one-upping each other.
We can't. Getting Ryan. All I got to do is order a brisket, and Ryan will bring a brisket down.
Ooh.
Really? I will?
That's all I got to do. That's all I got to do.
I haven't cooked one of
them. Let me rephrase that. Back in the day, when Ryan was unsidetracked, I would call him 3 nights before Clearfield's tractor pull, and he'd bring me a brisket in a cooler.
That's true. I did do that. But, Fairway had them on sale for like $2.99 a pound. How do you not do that?
Yeah.
I think you guys posted the class lineup, didn't you?
I think we gave you the order and all that too, yeah.
Yep. I don't need to run through that at all. So next year, I know if this shootout works, which right now it's $1,000, and what we're wanting to come of this is, Ryan and I talked, and he had a younger gentleman that's going to start pulling here in a couple of years, and I grew up watching Street Outlaws, probably like you did, and like a lot of us here on this live did. And hearing people call somebody out, that really kind of gets your blood boiling, doesn't it? It kind of gets you pumped up. So next year, you said you were thinking about doing the 8500s and 8500 light limited pros and the 3.0s.
Yeah, talk about doing something like that. Maybe get a couple people riled up about doing some call outs too.
He's no stranger to a call out. Do you think he would call out Josh Hanna?
I think he would again. I think
Jason Wayman needs to call out Josh Hanna. Heads up.
We might have to make a phone call on that one.
Need to. Yep. It's got to happen. 85 versus.
That'd be an interesting show.
85. I feel like that'd be close. I also feel like 4-1s and a true super farm would, but we don't have many super farms in the area anymore.
No. We could get some inter or some same class call outs though.
Well, let me ask you guys, would you take an 85 limited pro or a 3? Would you take Josh Hanna or Jason Wayman? I'm writing this down for next year, just so you know.
I'm gonna go with Jason.
That's Cody, right?
Yeah.
Cody is going with Jason.
I'm going with the sleeveless wonder.
He's going with Hanna.
Yeah, I think I'd have to as well.
Charles,
with apologies to Jason, but
Jason's got a great truck. Don't get me wrong, but
but
you wait till I share this episode with Josh Hanna, because I know he's not watching on Facebook. I don't know what.
But Josh has the suns out, guns out, 365 days a year. He has the power of the sleeveless.
Yeah,
Nope.
but
We might have
I feel like Wayman, if he's called out, he's going to try and turn up the wick just a little bit.
Well, he turned up the wick last time.
Yeah, he's kind of put a hurting on some people last year in the open class.
And it all become from that call out.
Yeah.
Because I think the Hill brothers took that call out, didn't they?
They did.
They did.
Yep. After that, Jason Wayman went on a tear, didn't he? He won a lot.
Yeah.
Heck, when he had that truck there last year, it was hot.
I love it. The pearl snap, yeah, and that's exactly what he does. Classing up the joint, you know.
I'm
snap
Snapchatting
sleeveless.
Josh Hanna right now. Yes, you can't forget the pearl snaps. I mean, are you even classy if you love the pearl snaps?
No.
Corey's going to show up to the show and shine in pearl snaps.
We'll get some pearl snaps and cut them
Pearl
off.
snap get off.
Yep.
We'll do one of those green so everybody can find
I'll stop in Maryville and buy Corey a pearl snap, and I'll cut the sleeves off for him.
Whoa! Now them Roberts boys, you gotta understand, they're on a whole nother class.
Oh, I know.
I mean, their trucks, you know.
I think their wives shop for them and tell them you're going to wear this. They don't give an option. They get their clothes laid out in the bed at the end of the day.
You should, if you really want to get Scott Barkus route up, ask him why he doesn't wear Hey Dudes like all the Roberts boys do.
All right.
He is not a fan of Hey Dudes. He calls them something else that I'm not going to mention on here, but he's not a fan of Hey Dudes.
All right.
Yep, not a fan. All those Roberts boys, though, they know comfort. Comfort. It's all about comfort.
For sure. All right, boys. Any last pearls of wisdom, or we can let you go? You've given us an hour and 37 minutes ish.
Look at that. You didn't even get sick.
I didn't.
Was that the plan? Was like you were going to puke on?
Oh, he was about as nervous as a. I can't say that one either. Somebody in a church, but
truck and slippers, huh?
Truck and slippers.
Have you guys ever seen Corey Roberts drive down the road in his panda bear hat?
Corey Roberts is a panda bear hat.
He's got one of those. He's got a panda bear and it goes over his whole head. And when he passes you doing mock Jesus, you triple tape.
Well played, sir.
You triple tape. I mean, it's just like, what did I just see? Yep. Anyway,
Corey,
but
can the panda head fit over a helmet?
Asking for a friend.
No, I'm asking for me because it'd be a great picture.
I can just see Ryan out there with a fucking panda head and a camera taking pictures going like this all night. I have gotten a Snapchat of the panda before, so yeah.
I have not.
There we
I
go.
have not, but I probably will tomorrow.
Yep, it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming. But no, I mean, really, as far as Dakota show goes, we hope everybody enjoys the show this year. We're trying this new shootout thing. We hope it turns out well. As far as Northwest goes, we've got a lot of events on our Facebook page. If you're wanting to see more, but Dakota's going to start us out this year, and we have our tech day that day. So honestly, we hope you come, and if you've never pulled, please give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. Whether you pull or don't pull or want to pull on, never thought about it. Dakota's I think willing to talk to you.
I'll tell you what I know, and I'm learning every day. Put it that way.
What class are you going to pull in?
I don't have one, you see. Man, maybe. I
was waiting.
I like
for
that idea.
I mean,
that.
Yeah.
Tyler?
Yeah. We'll tell Tyler to go to the bathroom for a minute.
There we go.
Yeah.
That works.
You're gonna, you're probably gonna have a few guys complain about hitch height. I'm just saying.
Oh, we'll just lower it down and we'll figure it out.
Oh, you guys are jealous, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering. Would Josh call out? Would Josh do a call out?
I don't know.
Ask him. He's watching.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh?
Explain what you want him to do.
Explain it to him. What do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you think? What do you
I
think's a
don't
good
know.
amount?
I'd like to see Josh Hanna call out Wayman.
I'd like to see that. That'd be a shootout right there.
I mean, you got the highest horsepower 85 Limited Pro, Josh Hanna Super Puller, against the best Go diesel truck in Missouri.
I think we need to get Wayman.
You got
in on
shut
this
down,
too.
boys. Both of you.
Oh no.
Josh is playing hard to get.
He's playing hard. You know, that's probably why Cody's single still.
Because Josh is playing hard to get. Cody's single.
I was going off to the Missouri girls, you know.
Okay.
It's just about the Missouri people. You know, they're just hard.
I think you're cut off.
Yeah, I think you need to stop drinking whatever's in that Casey's.
That's a
cup.
stretch.
You went way too far into that. You just went straight left on me there. I wasn't talking about dating.
All right, we do not condone physical violence.
We'll take a slow pitch softball. We'll take a slow pitch softball, but that was not that at all.
You want a black eye, huh?
Oh, geez, Josh.
Wow.
Oh man.
Just make sure we're there to get.
I got to tell you why he wrote that comment.
Wait. Can we be there to take pictures first?
No,
yes.
my eyes.
Yes.
Okay, so the reason Josh said that is because ever since I was little, my dad, Steve Stoll, started Super Puller. And, oh boy, he'll hang up on me. If I call Josh, I'm like, hey, Super Puller, how you doing? All I hear is nothing. He'll just hang up right away. I'm going to do it. Inside joke.
Well, now he's never going to speak to you again. So, I mean,
he'll just come up at Graham and kick the crap out of me. You know, it's nothing new. He gets me straight. He straightens me out.
I figured.
Josh, let us know what time you're going to be there, just in case we're there with the camera and get button happy.
Yeah, for black eyes and butt kickings.
Oh, man.
That might be fun.
Hey, you know, there's a rule at Northwest. If you hit an officer, you're out for a year and a day.
Officer? You mean like with a badge or like?
No.
Like a club officer.
I definitely don't suggest you'd hit that kind of an officer.
I was just gonna say, that's a legit rule. Like, I don't think it's just Northwest, but I'm just saying.
Josh is just gonna hit me harder now. I mean, it's coming.
Yep. I mean,
Friday night,
at this point,
Brad
it's just piling on.
Friday night, Brad gets voted out of the club.
See ya, Dakota. Enjoy your.
Nice.
No,
it was at this moment Brad knew he fucked up.
Right.
Exactly.
No, it's a good event. It was fun last year. Dakota did a great job last year, and I'm looking.
Thank you.
If I can make it, looking forward to this year. So
hopefully you can. Understand if not.
Yeah,
you got a lot going on up there.
Yep. So.
All right, boys. Well, listen, we will let you go, guys. Do we have anything to talk about, or are we just bailing and?
Yeah, we just got 21 people watching now. We're at the high now. We're getting off.
Well, you got any good jokes to tell?
How do you make a promoter, Matt?
You call him.
You give him 60 days to put on an event.
It's a good one.
Well, it seems like that guy did it, and he did okay.
Yeah,
we did all right.
I mean, it looks like he doesn't have any gray hair.
Not yet.
Well, that's fine. Next time, Brad's going to give you 30 days.
I have to see if he gets past the sophomore slump and then check back.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't call me on a 30-day heads up.
No? You wouldn't do it?
I'd try it. Maybe.
Yeah, you would.
Brittany comments, yes, he does.
I do have a couple of gray hairs. She tries to pull them.
Nice.
She pulls them.
Well, let me ask you this. What would be some of your guys' advice to promoters, or what do you think would be some cool new things to come to shows? Like, maybe not even this year, like next year, like, I don't know, after the show, during the show. What's your guys' thoughts? Do you make it a whole day, do something before the show, and then after the show, like have a concert, not have a concert? What's your thoughts?
I have not seen concerts really do well in this environment. It just doesn't seem to work. It's a lot of money out front to do it, depending on the act you're trying to get, and it just doesn't seem to pan out. I would avoid that one. I think you're on the right idea with the shootout. You are now the second poll I know of this year that's going to do that. So I think that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool ad. It kind of harkens back a little bit to pull-offs, which, those of us who are around and remember what those were like, it's badass.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's definitely, we had that conversation the other night. Like we'd love to see a lot more shootouts, call outs. So I kind of hope this goes great, or I really hope it goes great. So that way we see more of that.
I think doing it now, maybe people will be less scared to do a call out. Is what I mean. We know it's going to benefit us a little bit, but in reality, we're trying to benefit the sport. If I want to call, if Scott and I come into this thing, or Brenton Beeson and Scott battle it out for first place, maybe Brenton will, who knows? He might call, Scott Bargus out, Adelie Barkus, But the thing is, right now, trucks versus tractors in this area hasn't been done. So the main thing is getting in front of people and knowing where we really rank up, or where we stand. And after that, maybe it'll start flowing. And
do you have a Brent announcing, or who's announcing?
So Craig Armfield's going to announce.
Yep. Okay.
He does quite a few shows for Northwest Tractor Pullers. And he's very knowledgeable. We've had Doyle Bounds. Doyle Bounds is very good too. Brent does some, and gosh dang it, what's the name of the market? TJ does some. But
I guess my thought on this is, if you got people that are calling out other ones, put them two on the mic together before their class. Like, if you get a little dead time ahead of time before they have to bring the truck up or tractor up, like, put them on the mic and talk against each other a little bit. Create some of that buzz in the stands, and get the fans kind of, picking and choosing before the class gets there. And, maybe it's earlier on in the night when you got, some lulls, going on, but that track's good for some sunset shots. I'm telling you, it's almost it's not quite east to west. It's almost there, but looking to the west type of thing from the end of the track, it has a great view to it. And, it's going to be fun to put a couple on the mic that are competing against each other, and it would be kind of neat.
That's a good thought.
We might have to do
bring the two people that finish first place in the 2.6 and the first place in the P pump, and see if they'll talk for a second. See if we can get some morale going.
Ask them what they're going to pull. Ask them the distance.
That'd be good.
Ask them the distance that they're going to pull, and let them shoot for it. You're given at that point. You're giving the fans something to look forward to, of not just who's going to beat who. It's did they make that distance or not. So
calling their own shot.
Yeah, call your shot.
Yep,
that's a good deal. That's a good thought.
Yeah.
And also, if Brent and Corey do bring the trucks and hook them, the 4-1s, you should probably get Brent's boys to call those passes.
Yeah.
So it's funny. Brent Roberts is Brent's enjoying a cruise right now, and he called me like 2 days ago, and he said Austin's putting a new charger, which he popped his at Boonville.
Yep.
Absolutely.
He popped it good.
With all this new safety stuff that's going on in pulling, it prevented all of it, and I was very impressed. We've the pullers have went to the measures of adding a lot of safety stuff, and when these turbos fail, it's not if, it's when. And he had the safety in place, and it contained every bit of it, and I was very impressed with that. But either way, Austin is working on it right now, and if he gets the turbo on, Brent is supposed to be landing in Kansas City at like 8:00 at night, and he is flying up to Graham to pull at your event. If he can make it, he's going
to. Shoot, did we lose him?
Been working good all night after we sorted out the issues, and now we froze them.
Yep. But that's a nice bombshell,
I was going to say,
bombshell.
Wait. You guys froze for a minute, so you're going to have to say he's flying up to Graham and start over there.
We froze, so start over.
Okay, so
he flies into Graham, or flies into Kansas City.
So I think, which Corey's watching right now, so he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's supposed to fly in. Well, here, I'll tell you. He texted me. He flew, I think he's flying in at like 8:00 at night. And he said, hey, when are you hooking the open class? Okay, here it is. Okay, he said so not sure what's going to happen. Austin is going to try getting the turbo back on the truck for Graham.
I get into KC at 8:45 p.m. Then I was going to fly up there. If it doesn't work out, Austin's still going to hook it if he can get it finished.
You need to read the comment on the screen there.
We figured out what the internet issues. Actually, Kyle Jackson is.
No. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Amazon Prime showed up early.
But I mean, worst case scenario, Brent, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. I've driven a semi once.
Once.
Charles has a comment on the tip of his tongue that he won't make for whatever reason.
It would have been an endorsement for a certain hotel chain that advocates their expertise after one night of staying there.
Nice.
I do have a Class A CDL, and I have driven several times, but never a semi that horsepower. But if they need a guy, like, I'll put down the camera. It's okay.
Attaboy. Way to take one.
I'm willing. Yeah, I'm willing to take one for the team. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Willing to help out where I can.
Boy, you magnanimous SOB. You.
Absolutely.
Yeah, such a nice guy.
You think you'd wear the panda head though?
I will fucking wear the panda head if I drive that thing.
It's on the table.
Actually, I will take the long route from my house to Grand Missouri and drive the son of a bitch to the pole even to make sure it's there. And I'll wear the panda head the entire time. I will probably have the AC on because it's hotter than shit with the panda head on. But if there's not AC, it's really going to be miserable. But I mean, I'll do things for Dakota's show. Just saying.
Tonight, a local man was arrested while being arrested.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, listen, we're going to let you go. Thank you guys for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can run you guys down on Saturday. I don't want to mention that word that starts with W, but you know what it is. Let's have a great show. Regardless, you've got 2 days, so let's make the most of them, right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for having us. Greatly appreciate everything. Look forward to seeing everyone on Friday and Saturday.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right, we're gonna kill the cameras, folks. And you guys don't go anywhere quite yet. But any words of wisdom, pearls of wisdom from you guys?
Nope.
Keep your stick on the ice.
Yeah, keep your stick on the ice, boys and girls, or something. So anyway, till next time.
See
ya.
guys.